soon as this part of the feed comes in, tell him that was completely my fault, Todd. I pulled a super bonehead. In using Wirecast, you have to set the virtual settings through a whole bunch of stuff, and I had missed that one in rebuilding this. Go ahead, Alex, and talk now to prove that I'm not the only one that talks during the show.
Okay, here's the proof. John sometimes lets me talk. It's maybe like it's like a third to 2/3 maybe. Well, you know, right? But yeah, Todd's being awesome and letting us know how the audio is working, and Todd's awesome for other reasons that we're gonna get to. But we're doing birthdays
I don't know.
first.
I still have it
right?
on your shot, so you tell me.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm the one that put these in here anyway. Linda Needham's birthday was a while ago, as was Gordon Gross's. They are both related to the SEO Wise program, so we wanted to give them. Well, I mean, like Linda went through it a while ago, but she's still active in our community and everything. So we just wanted to give them a shout out. Yes, now audio is working for Alex from Annabelle. Thanks, Annabelle.
Okay,
You're such a sweetheart.
While we have people on the show listening, I need to know how out of sync your audio is, or if it is out of sync. Because unfortunately, while we're running the show, if I try to bring up the monitor of that show on the same computer, it really messes with the bandwidth. So anyway, if anybody can give us an answer on that, go ahead and talk some more.
Will do. I think if it is really out of sync, we should totally make a blooper of this because it'd be hilarious. Like, maybe I'm doing something totally obnoxious with my face and I'm talking about something really depressing. That would be awesome. Not that I usually talk about depressing things. But yeah, so Linda Needham, Gordon Gross, happy birthday, belated birthday from the Wise team. I hope that they were awesome birthdays. Birthdays should be awesome. Anybody's birthday should be awesome. You know, the guy that I'm dating, his birthday is actually on Valentine's Day. Yeah, he hates it. He's like, it's supposed to be my day, but Valentine's Day is all about the girl.
Real quick, I just want to let you know, I just got a message that popped up that said our server connection had been disconnected twice. Doesn't look like the stream has stopped, so if anybody sees it black out or anything, let me know. Birthdays, as far as other birthdays, I don't know how many birthdays come through in the last couple weeks. Tons of people had birthdays around now. Wow.
Yeah, well, okay, what's 9 months back from now? I don't do math.
October? September? I don't know. No.
October? Why are people doing it in October?
Well, who knows? There's been a lot of things about that, but we're not keeping true to the show here. We need to move forward on the. I know.
Oh, Annabelle says it is out of sync.
Well, we don't know how bad it is, but let's see here.
But judging from our earlier tests, it's probably pretty bad.
Well, actually, the interesting, because I for some reason I can't change that. Oh, that's why. Here. Now go ahead and talk in this one.
Okay, maybe we should move on so that we make sure we get everything done in an hour.
Yeah, we should. But now you have a delay set on you like it was supposed to be. I just didn't have it active, so it might actually clear up and be better. All right?
Okay. Let's hope so. Thanks for telling us, though, Annabelle. We really appreciate it. Sync issues are really not beyond about 0.5 to 1.5 second, says Todd.
Yeah, and it's actually, and Todd, that probably seems so, but in reality I can only correct it up to 1 second, and it's usually about 150 milliseconds. It just seems that way coming through. So it's there. The time that we're talking now, when Alex starts talking again, it might be adjusted better, and this is something that we'll have to keep work on. But it also has to do with our ability to push at the right frame rate. Right now, we're pushing 30 frames per second, and we're doing a perfect stream, which is around 2,500 kbps for 720. Earlier today, I boosted it to 10. We have 10 up, which is what we need. So anyway, what's he saying?
He's not saying anything. I was just gonna say, and Todd, if that made sense to you, good job, buddy. Like, bravo, because that made no sense to me. Annabelle said, "I don't do math." Plus Alex, best quote so far. If that's the best quote of my life is going good up till 24. It really is. Okay, let's move on and get a little bit more serious and talk about David Amerlin's Sunday read, which I read religiously. So David Amerlin talked about, he mentioned our hangout, which was super sweet, but he mentioned it because Todd LeBlanc mentioned it in a post where he was talking about he's doing this like series of the New Renaissance, and if you haven't read them, I recommend reading them. He puts them out pretty frequently, and he's basically doing the series of seeing the way that we're using technology to create authenticity, to develop authenticity, and how he sees it as the new Renaissance, which is super cool. So David incorporated that into his Sunday post this past Sunday, and it just like, Wise, we've been at Wise, we've been having such a good, even though John's been having like shit fits about the technology, I don't really care, because as the voice of the brand, I feel like we are doing so awesome recently. We're getting so much engagement. We're getting recognized for things that we weren't being recognized for before. We're actually getting people commenting on our events. So I don't care if the technology isn't working and John's like, it's not syncing. I really don't care. The engagement that we've been getting is awesome, and David's comments on our last event really, it made the event for me. It really did, along with Annabelle, because I just love Annabelle. She reminds me of like the kindergarten teacher that I never had, but I always wanted.
Nice. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I really like Annabelle too. We're going to do so many fun things this year. You mentioned Todd, right? And his post. I'm glad you took some time to dive in. I got to. You said a lot of things that were true, and I'm going to like sideline it real quick to this. I mean, I don't know what's happened for us in the last couple weeks. Thank you, everybody who watches, everybody who's basically watched weeks and weeks of blooper reels, because that's what these have been. It's just like one giant blooper.
I hate the silent film one. I mean, we could. That's art.
It was.
That's art.
The silent film one was really good. This is another hard thing to do. Changing camera shots. I found out that on TV, you keep your legs open, the direction you want to talk, and then you just adjust like this, right? So I have to adjust over here. I'm learning so much from just paying attention to how the pros do it. There's a reason they make what they do. Let's just put it that way. Right? There's a reason these guys get paid what they do to do what they do. And yeah, that's a direct shout out to you, Scott, McMahon, Randall Johnson, everybody that works in film, Hollywood, and there's a reason you guys make what you do. But here, down at the web level, we gotta change it up. What's happened with SEO Wise and us has been insane. I have had more contact, more people reach out. I have emails that I haven't even gotten to that are so old. For business owners, I'm just going to say this, and I know you feel the same. If you can find the time to produce consistent content in video, doing Hangouts, it is absolutely the best material, the best medium to reach your audience, period, the end. The reason we created this company, the Hang 3 Productions with Scott and Simon, was to be able to facilitate this for other businesses. So what you're watching here is our growth, us figuring out how to do this and bring it to you. The technology is the only piece that's really difficult. All of the other things just take time. The technology is what's been, you know, I'm looking over here. Hey, my camera shot's over here. You know, that's what the difference is. I cannot. It's been a crazy, crazy world. What, Alex? Every day, what do I say? We chat. I tell you, I say the same crap every morning, don't I?
I have so much to tell you, and I'm like, oh, I have to go to class, so I'll make it in like 5 minutes, and then it ends up being 2 hours.
Yeah. What did I tell you this morning about Annabelle and Dorian and China? Right, just one possibility, right? You know? And for
right.
These are all grant possibilities, but what they are is opportunities to bridge education, this technology, this beautiful technology that we have, and the rest of the world. And so the reason I'm psychotic about making this happen, the reason I'm trying so hard to do it with the baseline components, I don't want to spend $50,000, it's because most educators don't have $50,000 to spend on this kind of stuff. You know, what I'm trying to do is change the camera shot to the wrong one. What I'm trying to do is bring this down to the level that we can all afford to make it happen, right? Where you can produce a show for your business, or be on a show, or sponsor a show, or advertise on a show, and it doesn't cost what it costs in Hollywood, because we have the technology now at a level that makes it possible to do this. Does it still take practice? Absolutely. Does it still take precision? Yes. Does it take a lot of planning and time? Sure. Does it cost $100,000 a minute? No. It doesn't even come close. This is the future of marketing for all businesses, and that's why we're getting into it. But we're about education. That's what SEO Wise is. So while we've got Hang 3 Productions to help business owners, and we really want to work with, we've got lots of stuff going on there. Our focus, Alex, mine, SEO Wise focus, is with people like Annabelle Howard, who are forging new paths in using research, and they're the R&D division for EDU. I love that. Big Fun Education and what Annabelle has going on is all about taking Hangouts on Air and the Google Services platform and connected classrooms and going out and bringing these classrooms, oops, hit my mic, to the kids, to the world. My God, Alex, I'm laughing so hard. This is, I just got to tell everybody, yeah, I'm interrupting the middle of the show. This is the most fun I've had in weeks, actually. Having Wirecast work, even though you're watching me fiddle around, just knowing that it works, being able to switch things, I don't even care if Alex is out of sync. It's been weeks in the making. Wirecast is functioning. Whee! I'm very excited.
Of course you don't freaking care if I'm out of sync. You're like, I sound awesome.
Not only that, but your entire screen was frozen up here, too.
It better have been a nice picture of me. Like, it better have frozen, like...
Not quite.
Like, if it froze,
actually,
like...
it's all fuzzy. It's interesting. It's all... you're out of focus now. That's weird. You're all pixelated.
Ooh, out of focus. That's okay. Art.
Very nice. I'm not even going to tell them what you...
That's gonna be my answer to everything that goes wrong. It's okay.
I'm waiting
it's art.
for someone to... someone's going to make a GIF of that. Ooh, focus. It's art. That's a GIF. That's a GIF. Okay. That's
a GIF right there, folks. Just real quick, Todd says, absolutely, Alex. I love it when people agree with me. You guys are doing great. Capital GREAT. And the human side of John is seriously refreshing. Oh, it hasn't even begun, Todd. It hasn't even begun.
I am okay. Let's switch over to this shot. So, look, I know we've got our entire. Go back to the other shot, Wirecast. There we go. I know we've got all these things on the list. We've got to stay on the list because honestly.
I know.
Everybody out there, do you see how much fun this is? This is with a lot of perseverance and a lot of frustration. And Alex, look, how many days ago was it that I was bawling my brains out? I mean, actually, what is it, like 2? Yeah.
2. Yeah, it was Sunday because I had a lot of work to do, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm not gonna get to that. I did.
Did you?
I finished it. I did, yeah, and I did a bang-up job. I even did a presentation that I didn't need.
This is Alex talking about her homework. She is a teacher, but she, teaching freshmen, but she also is a master's student, and she works her ass off. And I can't thank Alex enough for doing what she does for SEO-wise, teaching at the teaching classes, to getting her master's. She does all these things, and what I'm hoping is that we just gets done with her master's and we can take off with the show and she doesn't have to do that school stuff anymore. But I'm so getting off track on what we're supposed to be talking about.
I know. Okay, let's move on to the jelly roll.
Yeah, I guess this would be the jelly roll, except for the fact that I don't really have these slides to load up. But we're going to talk about the ABBA one. Let's see. I think I have the ABBA slide here. Let's see how this looks. Boom. All right. So this is just the ABBA goes to the dogs. Why are we talking about this? Let's see if I can find the other pieces of info while I am loading this up.
Okay, well, while you do that, the reason that this came onto our radar, it actually wasn't through Google+. I'm still active in Facebook. I know, but it's where the majority of my friends are, so that's why I hang out there. And one of my friends posted this on my wall, and she was like, "Oh my God, this is so cute, you have to watch it." So I did. And I thought that it was just one of the most ingenious, positive ways to get people to adopt pets. I was like, oh my God, it's so, because you do the like Sarah McLachlan, like, donate money today. These poor creatures. But this is such a positive. They're basically singing, what song is it?
Geez. If you change your mind, take a chance on me. There you go.
Yeah, take a chance on me, and they're like dancing around with all these pets that you can adopt. So I was like, oh my God, that's ingenious. So I bring it to John, and he's the one that's like, well, how old is it really? And I didn't think it was that old, but
and this
apparently
is where we get
it
into the reality of how awesome video is. So what we're talking about here is a video that is more than a year old. More than a year old. It went viral, or mini viral, I guess, for YouTube because it has over 2 million views. It went viral, but here's the thing that happens with videos like this. They circulate. They keep percolating back up. What I saw, and I saw that video when it came out. That was neato a year ago. Completely forgot about it. Most consumers did. But somebody picks it back up and shoots it back up into the ecosystem. So as we build these shows and we improve on SEO-wise, the Office Hours show and the Leader of the Brand show and the other things we have going on, we approach business owners with the idea of, purchasing an advertisement or sponsoring a show. And they ask us, well, how many live viewers do you have? We say, I don't know. It's a new show. 2, 5, 10? What difference does it make? It's YouTube. And they look at me completely confused. Well, in the network world, I need 20 million viewers, and that's going to cost me $20,000 for a 30-second spot. Like, right. This is the web world, where you start with no viewers, and you build up a subscribership, and you do the video, and you pay a hell of a lot less than $20,000 for a 30-second spot. And you have something that you can not only watch live, if people are watching it, but you can reshare and share again, and you can pull it down off YouTube, and you can repackage it, and you can put different things in the middle of it, at the beginning and the end. You can get a transcript for it. You can make a podcast out of it. You can redistribute that video every 2 weeks with a different summary. So when a business says, you don't have any live views, there's no reason for me to advertise, I show them things like the ABBA video, or my dancing reindeer video, which continues to get views. And if I can pull up that shot. But the bottom line, and Alex, we just switched back to you and me, but the bottom line is that the opportunity to spend less money than you would spend in a decent AdWords campaign to sponsor a show, right? And take that show,
right,
whatever you've done with either just a sponsor, we've got an ad of you in there, or we've done a little interview with that person, a segment about their business, whatever it is, the value starts there. That's when it starts. It doesn't start and stop with the live view. With network television, it's it. If you're in reruns, that's great, but your 30-second spot, you bought it, it's done. That's what you get. With YouTube, you bought it, and it keeps going and going, and if you want to do more with it, you reshare it again, and a year from now, it reshare it again. So when people say, well, what's the value of that? I say, really? Let's go look. So the reason we're talking about that is because even Alex, like, oh, look at this, it's new, had no idea the value that that video had, right? I mean, just...
Right.
Anybody out there ask any questions about that? Well, why not? People should really ask questions.
Because you did the boring stuff. I did the fun stuff where I'm like, ah, the cute little critters, and then it's like, okay, but here's the real value, and they're like, oh, value.
So are you telling me that you basically do the cats and bacon stuff, and people like that better?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying.
So, everybody, just so we have this straight here, Alex does the cats and bacon content of the show. I'm the one trying to bring it real, and therefore Alex is more popular. And that makes a lot of sense. If we were broadcasting to Facebook, all right, so.
It makes more sense, period. And let's face it, I'm funner to look at. Except right now my dog is behaving, thank God. Then things get really fun. Okay, let's move on to the next video.
What is it? What is the next one?
Oh, I jinxed it. He's up. Okay, next video. How big is Google video, which went viral on Google Plus probably 3 or 4 days ago, and it's basically talking about where Google started and how it got to where it is. And I love the beginning of it because it says, this isn't a conspiracy theory video. We're not trying to tell you that that Google is trying to rule the world, so forget your foil caps. But basically it ends with the fact that Google kind of rules the world. So it's an interesting, informative video about the size of Google, and my hope is that it didn't just go viral on Google Plus, because obviously most people on Plus understand the significance of Google and Google Plus. I hope that it reaches at least a couple more people out there that aren't really familiar with the information.
Very good. And that whole time you were talking about that, I was able to find in my lost files, and
I tried. I was like, how am I going to kill all this time?
This is another cool thing I've been able to do is I can load it up, and then using let's see, I've got that picture shot of you. Should probably change that shot. All right. So I load it up, just pull it up on YouTube, and I can use ScreenFlow and do a recording of it while it's playing, like I did, and then I can use ScreenFlow and maneuver it. So I had it blow up and move, and then I saved that as a file and load that into Wirecast, which is what we were watching. I agree with everything you said. Was anything did you watch the whole video? No. Did you?
I watched okay, so this is how I watch videos these days. For those of you creating, it's a 12-minute video, which when I first saw that, I was like, it's only 12 minutes. Yeah, I watched the first 3, and then I watched the last 3.
Okay.
That's how that's how I view videos these days. Except for TED Talks. TED Talks are the only thing that I sit through from beginning to end.
And what's interesting to know that I think all TED Talks are set to a specific length, or they have to come in around a specific length, right?
I think most of them, yeah. I mean, the shorter the better. Yeah. but surprisingly, I will sit through some of them that are 20 minutes long.
Let's talk a little bit about. Boy, we're running late. Let's talk a little bit about the Google video. I watched enough of it to realize that I knew pretty much all of the projects they were talking about, and that was when I went, okay, I really have to be the ultimate Google fanboy at this point, because I'm like, no, I don't. They got to the barges. I'm like, I know what those barges are. We already uncovered that. The bottom line, if you haven't seen this video, and it's what I just put up there, is how big is Google? Who pushed that out? Do we have the guy who shared that or created that?
It's actually a I don't remember who they are. It's a company that does it, and it was their exclusive on it. They haven't at least at the time that they shared it on Google Plus, they hadn't pushed it out to the rest of the world. It was their exclusive release of it, and they did it through Plus.
If you haven't, we'll find it at the end of the show. We'll drop the name in there and get it on there. If you guys haven't seen it, it's pretty incredible. What it talks about is all of the things that Google is doing, not just the stuff that's on the surface that we're aware of, but kind of the bigger things, the bigger missions, the fact that they purchased a whole bunch of robotics companies. Right? You've got robotics, you've got mobile, you've got Hangouts, you've got what they're doing with vehicles. They purchased Nest, okay?
They just bought an airport. I saw that come through my stream. So yeah, they bought an airport.
That automatically makes me think self-driving airplanes, which would be fantastic.
Oh, it's Cold Fusion.
Right.
Cold Fusion.
That's right. Was it Fusion or was their name spelled weird? I thought it was an.
It's spelled Cold Fuse and then a capital Tion.
Okay. Great video, great information, well done, put together. Look it up, find it, just watch it. Those of you in the Plus, you're probably already super fanboys like me and you know all this stuff, but it's good to just see and understand where Google's headed. Right? And I agree with what they said in there. This is not about, oh my gosh, it's the, a Big Brother or, Google's going to take over the world, Skynet. But I'll be honest, if Google, first of all, I agree, I think Google is creating Skynet. I think they are creating something that is a global system. They already have. It's called the web. All right. They didn't invent the internet, but they have Google, and Google has connected the world, whether it be through Hangouts, the chat, email, everything that we can do through Google, Google Plus. They've connected the world, and they operate outside of the limitations that governments have. Right? I like that. They're bigger than governments. I like that. I like what Google's doing, and I like all of their initiatives. And I'm looking forward to a Google-connected world. I want them to keep going with it because, quite frankly, we wouldn't be doing this right now. You and I would not be having the success we're having if it weren't for Google and this platform. So, we all need to remember that, and that's why Google will always be a sponsor of this show, whether they like it or not, because...
How funny would it be if we get an email like, please stop mentioning us in your Hangouts on air. We don't appreciate it. We do not like to be associated with the likes of
and even if they did send me a nice season, first of all, they won't. Here, let's put it this way. Everybody works for Google. I just want to say that. We all work for them because every time we access the web, we input information, and that's what they collect, and that's what they ask of us. Right? There are other paid services, the little $5 a month things and other services they have, whatever. But the truth is, we work for Google because what they've done is a contract. They've created a social contract, just like the ones that we do with each other now in Google+. You give us information. We'll take that information, we will index it, we will give you back the best service platform we possibly can with that information. The more you give us, the better we'll make it. And we promise you, we're only going to use it for your best interest. And to date, that's what Google has done. You can't say that about Facebook. You can't say that about many other companies, Microsoft, AOL, Apple. Okay? They've all done things with our information we didn't like. Google so far, I think they've got the best record, and I think they're trying to prove that they are about human interest, all of it, the world. Right? And so, I don't know. I just had to rant there.
Speaking of the world, let's move on to the Olympics. Because that's international and awesome. Not that I have time to watch them this year, unfortunately. But when I'm at the gym, I get to catch the highlights, which is good, because it's either that or some weird talk show, because gym TV is just weird. But, yeah, this is your thing. Really? Because I just
switched to you. Fine. The Olympics. I had some great graphics loaded up for this. I don't know where they are now. Let's just do this. This is an Olympic tease for next week. Part of what we're trying to do with the SEO Wise program is make it the most professional hangout show it can be, using Wirecast, bringing in graphics, bringing in creatives that can help us make better motion graphics, make this thing more professional, and the entire set that I built before that I lost. All of these things are about making it better for the world. Part of that is in our discussion of topics, and I want to go outside of the plus bubble in this show and talk about what we see in the world that's good, what we see that's changing. And what I saw at the Olympics in Sochi blew me away. And I just want to get the record straight here. First of all, you know, I don't watch the Olympics. I don't generally watch the Olympics. I've never really cared much about them. I do like some winter sports. And I did follow, you know, I'm like a, you know, you follow the big stars that come through the Olympics and whatnot. This one blew me away. I wasn't expecting it to. The biggest thing I saw was Russia. All right, the Russian people. I want to take Putin and let's just move him out of the equation. Okay? There are many things we will talk about with him, but next week what we're going to talk about are the people that made the Olympics so awesome. NBC and their coverage of it, which was awesome. The athletes, and the athletes that were the epitome of beautiful. These athletes were more about their friends, their partners, the other athletes than they were about themselves. It was so amazingly selfless, it blew me away. Watching Shaun White lose the gold medal to the iPod guy from, I think he's a Russian-born, but he's for Swiss. I got to look that up. That's all next week. The fact that these people were saying, "Oh, I feel really bad for him. He should have won the gold." You know, this is the guy that won the gold. Instead of talking about how he won the gold, he's talking about how sad he is that Shaun White didn't get an opportunity or messed up his opportunity. And Shaun White says, first thing out of his mouth, "It was totally my fault, and I don't really feel good about what I did." He was disappointed in his performance. He's not going to blame the Russians. He's not going to blame the half pipe, which everybody was complaining about for snow. What I saw in the Olympics across all of the people, everyone, including Putin, yes, who stood there and clapped like a maniacal psychopath or whatever he is, here's what I saw, though. Everybody was there to support the athletes. Everybody was there on an equal playing field. The Olympics are an Olympic playing field. Next week, we are going to the Olympics are an equal playing field. Next week, we're going to talk about these people. I'm going to share their stories. I'm going to borrow some footage from NBC and maybe get in trouble. But the bottom line is we're going to talk about the people that made the Olympics possible, not the politics and other crap that happened around them. So there's your Olympic tease. And, boy, that was hard, Alex, to do that and not just go into the entire story. So
I know, but you're getting better at it. You're getting much better at it.
Remember to look at the damn Wirecast thing. Alrighty then. So what's next on our list? Because it's really hard for me to bounce back and forth there.
Next is skinny dipping. Everything revealed. For this particular show, we're really just talking about. I think it's funny that we're talking about this because there are a lot of people on Plus that we've discussed, and I'm just going to throw them out there. Dennis LaBelle is one of them, where we're like, so what exactly does he do? There are so many people on Plus that I'm really confused. I'm like, yeah, well, what's your day job? Do you have one? So we're going to talk a little bit about what SEO-wise actually does, especially because I love how this fit. John mentioned this topic before this happened, but in Todd, one of the comments that Todd put on his post, he was like, yeah, you know, I was a little bit hesitant to watch your show because anything with the word SEO in it turns me off. And I just thought that was so funny because I was like, hey, me too. Then I was like, oh yeah, our name is SEO-wise. Most people probably think that we're like SEO gurus. I am the voice of SEO-wise, and I can tell you I still do not understand SEO to save my life. All of these intricacies that everybody talks about, like, I'm just like, and like page rank, it took me forever to figure out that PR for them means page rank. So I was like, why are you guys talking about public relations? This makes no sense to me. No, they're talking about page rank. So we're going to talk a little bit about what SEO-wise does and where we're going. And John's a better person to do that than I am.
Thank you for that lead-in.
You're welcome.
What SEO-wise is in the, I guess in the overall, SEO-wise is a very fluid company. What we are is a company that wants to champion education using technology. And we want to do that through the Google platform because we believe that the Google Services platform is pretty much all you need for the most part to do this. I mean, it gives us the ability to broadcast, whether that's through words or through images or through video, which we believe is the top form right now. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this. Alex and I would not be doing this. I completely shifted the function of SEO-wise. The program still exists, but we scaled back the program because I realized that trying to automate it just wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. I didn't like the quality of what was happening, and so we scaled it back so that the WISE program, and we'll do a relaunch of this soon, but it's basically 6 individual consults with me or Alex or Jason or combined, along with guided work through Google Plus and the rest of the web. We rely on a lot of the content that is produced by other people in Google Plus, and we reference those individuals and we give them praise and credit, and we teach everybody in the WISE program how to function in the modern web, how to engage. Those of you watching this program, if you're not in the WISE program, you already understand. You're in Google Plus, you're doing it, you're engaging. This is really meant for people outside of the Plus sphere. It's meant for people on Facebook who haven't yet discovered what's going on in here. The shows that SEO-wise is doing, now those are meant for Google Plus. Those are meant for this brand new broadcast media. And our goal is to create the best broadcast network on the web. We want to deliver only quality content. We want that content to be guided by our viewers. I want to offer a balanced and intelligent and educated discussion of topics, whether they be in Google Plus or around the world. I also want to offer an opinion, a weighted opinion based on our view of the facts. Yes, this sounds an awful lot like the newsroom, but that's because we can do it. I wanted to create the newsroom, which if you don't know what that is, it's an Aaron Sorkin program. Just to me, the sad thing about the newsroom is that it's a show. It's not actually the news. Right? Jeff Daniels portrays this awesome broadcaster who has the balls to just be honest and call people out when they're full of shit and ask the right questions that need to be asked and provide a fair and balanced look at the issues and also include an opinion based on intelligent understanding of what's going on. No offense to the modern broadcast world, Fox News, and everybody else, that seems to have gone. I don't know what happened with that kind of a news anchor, but right now everything that's being broadcast on networks is spun heavily, one way or the other, based on money. Plain the end. In this place, as long as we can keep SEO-wise functioning, and we're going to talk about that too, I want to deliver content that is not spun, content that is not weighted by somebody's cash one way or the other, or by a political party's interest, or by a corporation's earnings. This is about the ability to give you the honest truth. And if you don't like what we've said, you can come right back at us and we can have a conversation about it. This is the endless feedback loop that Google was trying to create. It's an equal playing field, and I have every right to give you the facts. We can create a show that delivers the facts, delivers the truth, delivers our opinion in a guided way that's fair and balanced, and the FCC can't do anything about it. I just have to stay within Google's quality guidelines. And no corporation can come to me and shut it down or tell me I need to make a certain ratings level in order to stay in business. Alex, do you have anything to add to that? Because I know I kind of went off on a Will McAvoy there.
You did a little bit. I don't. I just want to really clarify that I think, like, as the voice of the brand, I think that we have come to really believe in two things: that we're trying to use Google products, we're trying to use Google Plus to help people communicate and to help them connect. And we try our best to do it in a unique way. And one of those unique ways is using Wirecast and Hangouts. But I think what's really important for what we're trying to do is, like you said, we're trying to take away this idea of corporate news and corporate television and really bring it down to a level that everyone can understand, everyone can appreciate, and that everyone can enjoy. That's really what we're trying to do. Unfortunately, we haven't had the funds to keep us going.
Yeah.
So a lot of it right now for both of us has become sweat equity, and we've gotten to the point where we're making the decision of do we take the route of money now, or do we hope that this really becomes what we expect it to become? And we chose Sunday to take the route of we hope that this becomes what we really think that it can become, and hopefully that works out for us.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Let me. I suppose I should elaborate on that. We're still in discussion about it, but the bottom line is that we want to start. We want SEO-wise to be. We want the show. Let me put it this way. I've been thinking about this for a while. There are people doing Hangouts on there, and they're collecting sponsors, and that's an absolutely essential thing. You need to have a sponsor if you want to continue running a show, and that's the only thing you're going to do. I mean, Alex and I, we have web development with Portland Internet Design, and we have the SEO-wise program, which we've kind of mothballed for the moment. We have clients that we're pushing through the WISE program. They're working with us privately, but the actual automated program is shut down. And we've had some conversations with some people that cannot be disclosed right now that have indicated to us that this show is more than just what we started off to be. It can be bigger, and we want it to be bigger, and we're working with individuals to do that. We're going to take the program, the office hours programs, Wednesday and Friday, and our next experiment with that is going to be treating it like a PBS show. We are going to ask for sponsorship. This is a sponsorship for the cause, not necessarily a sponsorship so that a business owner can come in and slap an ad. Don't have a problem doing that. But I guess what we're trying to say is I don't want to turn WISE into a program that takes in ads and then is beholden to these advertisers. That's not what we're trying to do. And obviously I don't have a really good set of words around this. What we're trying to say is we are looking for stewards, founders, founding members. We are looking for a company that is interested in sponsoring this show for the sake of the content and the quality of what we can produce with it. And we will create, we've got an idea for a campaign around this, and we're working on some other things. But I just want to put that forth, is that we are going to start asking for sponsorship and trying to raise funds to run the show. But we are not going to turn these shows into a thing packed with all sorts of brands and different advertisements and commercials. That's not what these are for. We've got plenty of other shows in the works that are absolutely suited for a standard advertising model, and those will be coming. But these programs, I want the office hours Wednesday and Friday programs to be about delivering the best quality that we can, and a running, living example of what it's like to produce network quality broadcast. That's what we are trying to show here. And so it's about furthering the cause. And Telestream has become an official sponsor for us. They've helped us out with software costs. So right there, thank you so much, Telestream. Google delivered this platform. Oregon Technology Business Center has given us a place to work. Unfortunately, it's really far from us, but we should be there on Friday. It's really far from you, Alex. So that's that's it. That's where we're headed. I have no idea what kind of response we're going to get, and obviously we have a lot of work to go. But I just wanted to throw that out to everybody who's watching.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify, we chose together to do this on our show rather than make it kind of a secretive, like, oh, we're going to do this, because we're all about transparency. We're being transparent and saying that we love doing this. We enjoy it so much, but unfortunately, as much as we want to say it's not about the money, at some point you have to come to a point where you're like, yeah, but I don't have money to live. So at a certain, it comes to a certain point where you're like, we're gonna have to make money somehow. And I think where John was going with what he was talking about is that we really want to keep the Office Hours show, as lame as it sounds, a show of the people. And that's why we're really trying to take this kind of crowdfunding angle, I guess, because we don't want it to be a brand segment. We don't want it to be, because once you bring brands in, people are like, oh, well, they're not going to say bad things about those brands because they're giving them money. We really want it to be. I'm not saying that brands can't sponsor us, because there are some fantastically transparent brands out there. What we're trying to do is have it be something that everyone appreciates, and they appreciate it so much that they're willing to invest in it. That's really where we were going. We want it to be a show that you not only enjoy, but you're participating in the fact that maybe you aren't actually in the show, but you're participating in it, and that you're keeping it going. That's the route that we're really trying to take. So just my trying to wrap up what you said into prettier words, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're so out of time. So last but not least, the communication connection, because everybody wants to know, what does a guy do with communication? Everything. So everything that we had to talk about today got me thinking, is communication really changing in the concept of communication, or are we just changing the context? A lot of us talk about these new things that we're doing, like Hangouts on Air, and watching YouTube videos has changed the way that we view television, and we now have plus posts, so maybe we don't need blog posts. But is that changing the way that we communicate? I argue no. Communication is still a transactional process. It's still a process in which I say something, the receiver says something back, we have that feedback loop that John mentioned earlier, and we have all of these things that end up being called noise that interfere. Communication is still communication. We're still looking for the same things out of the communication. The context is just changing. We're no longer really turning to TV. We're now turning to things like YouTube and Netflix. We're looking to Hangouts to change the way that, to really kind of replace our face-to-face communication, because we can't do it. We're doing plus posts now. Maybe that has replaced blog posts for you. Maybe it's even starting to replace the actual newspaper for you. Messaging might be replacing phone calls and letters, but the actual communication in itself, I argue, isn't changing. The only thing that we are working through is trying to overcome two barriers, space and time. That's what we're trying to overcome. But that gets me thinking, we've advanced so much. At what point are we going to be satisfied that we have overcome those barriers? And that's what I want to leave it with.
That was fantastic. Thank you, Alex. And, that was actually fun. It's a lot more fun switching back and forth when I know I'm not going to be on the camera. So everybody that's watched, really thank you for watching today. For Alex and myself and everybody, Simon, Scott, everybody that's helped put this together. It's only going to get better from here. Friday, which I forgot to tease for Friday. Friday we will have. Just switch over here. Hey everybody. Friday we will have Annabelle Howard on and my dad, Bill Ellis. We'll be talking paradigm shifts, big fun education, and all the parallels we see between those things. It'll be at OTBC unless we have another snowpocalypse here. Otherwise, for Alex and myself, we will see you on Friday. This has been Office Hours. Say goodbye, Alex. They can see us.
Bye, and don't forget, Friday's Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah. Right, we're going to work that into the show somehow. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.